Some of these youngins are already living up to the buzz, making huge waves on the field.
2024 AP Defensive Rookie of the Year is
Jared Verse.
Yeah!
So it's time to take a look around and judge the 5 NFL rookies from 2024 that already look like stars and 5 that look like busts. Star, Malik Neighbors, WR, New York Giants. The Giants' quarterback situation was a revolving door with a seemingly endless supply of horrible signal callers. And to make matters worse, the offensive line was battered all season and just really struggled to provide whoever was under center with enough time to find Neighbors downfield. Not to mention that he didn't exactly have a wide receiver room overflowing with talent to take some attention off of him from opposing defenses. Neighbors had essentially nothing around him with the Giants, and he still put up 1,204 yards on 109 catches, leading all rookies in receptions and finishing second in yards. You could see it right away. His dynamic route running, his explosiveness after the catch, his ability to win at all 3 levels. The Giants' offense was absolutely unwatchable for most of the year. But Neighbors? Ooh, he was the one reason to actually tune in. If they can manage to put even a halfway decent offense together around him, we may see Neighbors' production absolutely explode. Bust, Troy Fautanu, OL, Pittsburgh Steelers. Hyped as one of the most athletic offensive linemen in the draft, Troy Fautanu barely even got a chance to show it. 55 snaps. That's it. Unfortunately for Fautanu and the Steelers, a knee injury in August set the tone for a brutal rookie year, and by September, the Steelers shut him down for the season. And in his one and only appearance, well, let's just say it wasn't exactly Hall of Fame tape. Fautanu didn't move defenders in the run game and allowed 2 pressures on just 29 pass blocking reps. Obviously, this is the NFL and injuries happen, but when a guy of Fautanu's size and stature struggles to stay healthy at this phase of his career, it doesn't bode well for his future development, and we may see him end up as a bust. Star, Jared Verse, DE, Los Angeles Rams. It took the 19th overall pick out of Florida State a few weeks to get up to speed, but man, his motor was impressive out the gate, and he was a wrecking ball from the midpoint of the season on. It's not just the stats that tell a story either, it's the way that he played. He overpowered tackles, he bullied quarterbacks, and he single-handedly disrupted entire game plans. What was even more impressive was the way that the Rams defense really seemed to rally around him and take on his identity. The NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year is already a nightmare for quarterbacks and offensive linemen alike, and once he tightens up his technique a bit, we're talking about a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Bust, Jordan Morgan, OG, Green Bay Packers. The 2024 offensive line draft class had some high-end talent, with the likes of Notre Dame's Joe Alt excelling for the Los Angeles Chargers. But unfortunately for Green Bay, they might have swung and missed with Jordan Morgan. The 6'5", 311-pound guard out of Arizona suffered a shoulder injury early in the season that sidelines him for a good chunk of the year. The Packers thought that they were getting a long-term interior anchor to help protect Jordan Love when they drafted Morgan 25th overall in the first round. But all they got was a rookie season full of frustration. He played just 155 snaps and gave up 7 pressures on 104 pass blocking reps, which doesn't exactly scream day one difference maker. Maybe Morgan is able to overcome his injury woes moving forward, but for right now, he's looking like a major bust risk. Star, Brock Bowers, TE, Las Vegas Raiders. Brock Bowers didn't just live up to the hype, he completely rewrote the rookie record books and established himself as a bona fide #1 option regardless of his position. The Raiders' first-round pick out of Georgia stepped into the league and immediately became one of the most reliable pass catchers in football. He set the all-time rookie receptions record with 112 catches, putting himself in the same conversation as Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown production-wise. And he was also able to tally an impressive 1,194 yards and 5 touchdowns. Keep in mind, this was for an otherwise abysmal Las Vegas offense. This became all the more impressive when Devontae Adams got traded and the opposing defense became even more keyed in on Bowers. But all that added attention seemed to be no matter for Bowers, who continued to put up 100-yard games and proved that not only was he an elite security blanket, but he was also the guy. Bust, Tyler Guyton, OT, Dallas Cowboys. In this defense, Tyler Guyton walked into a near impossible situation in Dallas, trying to replace Tyron Smith, one of the best left tackles of his generation. And for a hot mess of a franchise, no less. Yeah, that's a pretty tall order. The Cowboys threw him into the fire, and the results were rather disappointing. He logged nearly 700 snaps, which is great experience for a rookie, but it seemed like the opposition smelled blood in the water on those snaps. 6 sacks, 26 total pressures, hours and almost far too many pass blocking reps of getting overwhelmed by NFL edge rushers. The physical tools are there, but Guyton looked like a rookie in every sense of the word. If he's going to be the long-term answer at left tackle, well, he's got a whole lot of work to do heading into year 2. Star, Jaden Daniels, QB, Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels didn't just play well in his rookie season, he completely revitalized the Washington Commanders, to put it lightly. Coming into 2024, Washington was stuck in quarterback purgatory, cycling through stopgap options and never really finding the guy. Daniels changed all of that immediately. The NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year was the heartbeat of the franchise's revitalization in the nation's capital that no one saw coming. What was particularly inspiring for Commanders fans was that Daniels didn't just excel because of his supreme athleticism, though that certainly didn't hurt, but instead because he played with poise well beyond his years. He carved up defenses with surgical precision, finishing among the tops in the league in adjusted completion rate. And when nothing was available downfield, that is where his aforementioned athleticism came in, as he notched 864 rushing yards, second only to Lamar Jackson. This wasn't just a good rookie year, this was as tough of a future legend in the making. Daniels routinely blended quick decision-making with off-structure creativity, turning broken plays into huge gains and highlight reel moments, and of course elevated the lowly Commanders to the NFC title game. Washington has finally found its guy, and if Daniels' rookie season was just the beginning, let's just say the other contenders in the NFC have a serious problem on their hands going forward. Bust, Amarius Mims, OT, Cincinnati Bengals. Despite an injury past and dealing with injuries as a rookie, Mims logged 835 snaps on a dynamic Bengals offense in year 1, and was thrust into heavy pass blocking assignments protecting Joe Burrow. Amarius Mims is a massive human being. At 6'7" and 340 pounds, he was supposed to be a bulldozer in the run game and a steady presence in pass protection for Joe Burrow coming out of the University of Georgia. But he's just kind of struggled to find his footing as a rookie. I don't know if it was the speed of the pro game or the physicality of the opposing defensive lines, but Mims simply was not the physical force that he was supposed to be. Star, Brian Thomas Jr., WR, Jacksonville Jaguars. While it took him a few weeks to really start hitting his stride, Brian Thomas Jr. wasn't just good in year 1, he was dominant. Look, we knew the kid had speed and size at 6'3", but plenty of guys have the requisite athleticism and still cannot translate that straight line explosiveness into a full-fledged WR1 skill set at the NFL level the way that Thomas did, especially as a rookie. 1,282 yards, good enough for top 3 in the league. 10 touchdowns, that alone is a phenomenal rookie season. But when you factor in who was throwing him the football, that's when things get even crazier. Trevor Lawrence had his worst season as a pro, missing time and struggling through injuries. And when Lawrence wasn't out there, Thomas was stuck catching passes from Mac Jones, who, come on, let's be real, hasn't exactly been a picture of quarterback competence over the past few years. For a Jaguars team that desperately needed a true number 1 receiver, especially after Christian Kirk went down, Thomas didn't just fill that void, he took over. And that is exactly what makes this so terrifying for opposing defenses, especially if he and Trevor Lawrence can find some sort of rhythm together heading into year 2. Bust, Terrion Arnold, CB, Detroit Lions. Look, maybe Terrion Arnold blossoms down the road, but the reality is that the rookie cornerback rode the struggle bus for much of his inaugural NFL season. Now, in his defense, Detroit's defense was ravaged by injuries, so Arnold was thrown into the fire quickly. And furthermore, the guy battled. He never looked out of place effort-wise, but there were way too many head-scratching moments and blown coverages, which of course only resulted in more opposing quarterbacks continuing to go after him. When all was said and done, he finished with 10 pass breakups, but also surrendered 4 touchdowns and tallied way more tackles than you'd want your young corner to as a result of all the catches he allowed. Now, of course, to be fair, cornerback is one of the toughest positions to master as a rookie. Plenty of great corners have had their struggles as rookies before putting it all together, so there is certainly some sliver of hope for Arnold, especially if he keeps up that work ethic. But if we're judging from his first NFL season in isolation, it's hard not to think that Detroit might not have struck out on him with the 24th overall pick in last year's draft. But what NFL rookie do you think looks most like a star now that the 2024-2025 season is in the books? Who do you think's been a disappointment so far this season? Was there anything that you thought we got wrong? What do you think we got right? Was there anyone that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.